Tuesday, October 16th. Episode 2. Persistence.
Is it pre-calc?
What?
Your face. It's wearing your I'm regretting every decision I've ever made and everything I've ever said look. So, is it pre-calc?
I talked to Dr. Mast yesterday.
I thought your checkups were done.
They are. I was just checking up on the rehab facility, and he invited me into his office to catch up.
No, that sounds kind of creepy, right?
Margo, he's my therapist.
I know, but sick shit like that happens. I mean, apparently Dr. Fredericks was selling your patients to cult members, so the workers at that place aren't background checked that well.
Dr. Mast is a good guy.
Okay, I believe you.
Don't you trust your own therapist?
About as far as I can throw her. I know seeing a grief counselor was my idea, and I think she's helping, but given my family's history with therapists, I find myself second-guessing everything she says.
Haven't you only seen her like twice?
Yes, and that includes the 10-minute introductory meeting we had.
Maybe your trust in her will grow.
Or my distrust, who's to say? Now, why do you have your pre-calc face after talking to Dr. Mast? I thought he made you feel better.
Now that sounds weird.
You know what I mean.
I'm fine, Margo.
Sure you are. And so am I. And so is Parker.
That's Brady, right? Parker's cousin?
The guy that's trying to fit 2 lunches in his locker? Yeah, that's him. I had my first interaction with him yesterday after school. It was kind of weird. I thought Parker was just annoyed at Brady, but I think she really hates him.
Parker hates everyone.
Fair, but this was different.
Different how?
I feel like when Parker shows dislike to most people, it's just a general dislike of people. But with Brady, it was more directed. She has a reason to be mad at him, and I would argue it goes deeper than just annoying relative.
I wonder what it could be. They seemed pretty neutral when I had them in bio.
Did they ever have an actual conversation?
Well, no, not exactly, but they didn't seek each other out.
Do you think Parker would tell me if I asked her?
No.
Do you think Brady would tell me?
Why are you suddenly so interested in this?
I don't know. I guess I'd like to focus on something that's not murder.
You like him, don't you?
I mean, look at him. What's not to like? But the biggest red flag right now is that Parker doesn't like him. York annoys me to hell and back. But she has good instincts. If she doesn't like her own family member, I need to know why.
Or you could just throw yourselves into the burning passions of love and figure out if he's the one for you or not all by yourself.
Is this you wanting me to be happy, or are you avoiding Parker?
I'm not avoiding Parker.
You're avoiding something. You can point out hot guys all you want, but that won't change the subject for long.
Bummer. This conversation is over.
What would Dr. Mast say about your lack of communication right now?
Are you threatening me with my therapist?
Only because I care about you, Shar.
Get to class, Margo.
Hey, Dad.
No, not happening.
What?
Don't what me, Parker. You know you're not allowed to be in the station anymore.
It's been 2 weeks. I'm technically not grounded anymore.
And you're technically supposed to be in juvie for invasion of private documents and disruption of evidence in a police case.
I didn't disrupt evidence. I looked at a file.
You stole files from my rehab facility and broke into my office.
Okay, you got me there. But I'm here while you're here, so you can watch me and make sure I don't steal any important documentation or invade police privacy.
Right, my dream role as a father. So what are you looking for this time?
I just want to see where you are with the case. What are you looking to do right now?
We're still doing a background check on Avi Fredericks. See what connections she might have to the victims or alcoholics in general. See if we can find a motive.
And?
Nothing so far. She's a religious woman, very involved with the church, never married, but is the cool aunt to her nieces and nephews. She graduated relatively top of her class in college, was involved in school newspaper, and really are no red flags.
Except that all her patients go missing 2 weeks after seeing her. What college did she go to?
Boston University.
The same one Aunt Emma went to? Did she know Fredericks?
Your aunt was a business major. Even if they were closer in age, they wouldn't have known each other.
Did you ask?
Of course I did. You get your brains from somebody in this family.
Wow, you're gonna roast Mom like that?
Your mother had her own talents.
Yeah, I got some of those too.
I think it would be a good time to look at some therapists again. I know that the last
Have you
one-
researched any cults?
Colts. Colts. How did we get to Colts? You're still on that.
Dad, I saw a whole bunch of people in white robes chanting in a different language around a burning body. Seems culty to me.
White robes, a burning body. Parker, you're sure this wasn't the KKK?
Last time I checked, they didn't kill alcoholics in the middle of nowhere, Whitman Falls.
Alright, humor me.
It wasn't them. Dad, they were speaking some weird language, and the method was totally different. I looked into the Klan because I'll agree there are some similarities, but their patterns are all off, and not all the victims were of color. Those style robes are used in different cultures, though. In the Caribbean, Cartagena uses similar outfits during Semana Santa, or as we call it, Easter.
And why is this important?
Because in that culture, they're used to represent the shame of one's sins.
Like being an alcoholic.
Maybe. I don't know anything for sure. I found a few pieces of the puzzle, but I don't know how they fit yet. Is that an old tape recorder?
Yeah, I used it a few years back when I needed a brain dump. You can have it if you want. But how do you know all this stuff? I thought you were done looking into the case.
I was, but I couldn't sleep last night, and I thought I would do some poking around.
I should have known that there was a reason you were in there. You want to look into this thing again?
But the right way. I want to work with you. I can do my own research and then discuss it with you. I won't go off by myself, Dad, I promise. Just let me help you solve this.
Parker, don't do this to yourself.
What?
I know what you're doing and I'm warning you. It won't work.
Please start making sense, Dad.
Do you want to know the real reason I didn't pursue your mother's case?
Every day of my life.
I didn't because I knew I would do what you're doing. I would turn over every stone, search every lead until I knew everything.
And what's so bad about that?
Because you can't know everything, Parker. You think figuring it out exactly as it happened is just going to solve everything? No, it won't. It's not even going to come close.
And how do you know so much?
Because I did the same thing, Parker. Back when I first became a cop, my uncle died. He was killed in a fire. The main speculation was that it was an accident, but I didn't want to believe that. I started working myself to the bone, trying to figure out who could have started it.
And did you catch them?
No, of course not. Stepped on too many toes, crossed too many people, and I got transferred out of the department. That's how your mom and I ended up in Whitman Falls.
And the moral of the story is?
You can't know everything, Parker. You can either drive yourself mad searching for a lost cause or just accept what you have and live your life.
What if I choose both?
There is no both, Parker.
I'm home.
Hey, how was school?
It was school. What are you doing?
I'm finding a potato peeler and trying to make dinner.
I think you meant to say you're making a small fire that might burn down the house.
I don't see you trying to cook.
There's a reason for that. I almost burned down the house one time, and there was also that time with the carrot.
I remember that. How did that even happen?
Beats me. 1 minute I was cutting carrots, next I was bleeding.
Don't you still have the scar?
Yep, that's always a fun story to tell. Why the sudden urge to harness your culinary skills?
I figure with me going to college next year and all that I should probably learn how to take care of myself a little bit more. I mean, I can make top ramen and mac and cheese, but how am I supposed to move out if I can't even make dinner?
So weird to think you won't be here next year. I don't know what I'm gonna do without you.
You have to promise me that you'll take care of yourself.
I always take care of myself. What are you talking about?
No, you always take care of other people, even if it's at the expense of yourself.
Oh, you're talking about the night I tried to save Michelle.
I can't have another call in the middle of the night saying you could be hurt, Char. And worse than that, you don't even seem to understand how worried you made all of us. I thought I was going to lose my sister.
And I'm sorry.
I don't think you are. You say that over and over again, and you sound like you mean it. But then when I look at you, you You don't look sorry at all.
I was just trying to help.
And I get that, but do you get why we wish you hadn't?
No. Why is it so bad I tried to help?
You really don't get it.
No, apparently I don't. I was trying to save her. I was trying to stop her from dying. I thought that was supposed to be heroic and rewarded, and all I've gotten is scoldings and disappointed looks.
Because we're worried you didn't think about yourself.
What does that have to do with anything?
You could have died, Charlotte. Why doesn't the gravity of that just sink you into the floor and make you run for Mom?
I don't know. I mean, the more I think about it, the more it gets heavy. But it's hard to feel anything under the weight of watching her die.
And what if you couldn't have saved Michelle?
I already couldn't.
No, I mean, no Parker. No one there to pull you back from charging towards Michelle, but you couldn't get to her in time. What would have happened to you?
I don't know.
I think you do.
I didn't want to die.
I know.
I didn't mean to scare anyone.
I know.
I just wanted to save her. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's fine, okay? I got you. It's okay. You're okay.
Charlotte?
I'm so sorry. I wasn't thinking. I just called.
It's okay, really. Did you have another nightmare?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It was kind of long. I don't want to keep you up.
Miller, I'm fine, I promise. Worry about yourself for a second. What was the nightmare about? I'm all ears. You have me as long as you need me.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay. I was on the trails again, but this time I couldn't find Michelle. Or at least, I thought I couldn't.
Thank you for listening to The Holland Case, with Cameron Sue as Margo Holland, Michaela Thompson as Charlotte Miller, Caitlin Branco as Parker York, Owen Kelly as Sheriff York, and Hudson Dobb as Christian Miller. The intro is composed by Ian Michael Brown, and the transitions and outro music are composed by Hudson Dobb. The series is written and edited by Caitlin Branco, with cover art by Charlie McAfee and episode titles by Ben Hirota. Thanks again for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode.